That's what this is all about.
Sure enough. Welcome, viewers, to Hometown's Cable's presentation of Section 7 soccer, coming to you from the hallowed grounds of George Brendler Field here in Chazy, New York, up in the house that Joey Trombley built in the broadcast booth. Chock full of heads tonight, so you'll have no lack of entertainment coming from this end of it. Calvin Castine on the camera and a whole host of characters here in the booth. So we will bring you this Section 7 Class B championship game between the number 1 seed Cougars of Northeastern Clinton in their home white jerseys versus the number 2 seed Peru Indians in their away blue jerseys. And right off the kickoff, we've got a foul on the Cougars, so the Indians, with the first scoring opportunity of the contest, come off a free kick from about 40 yards out. This is number 7 is Jacob Dick, one of the more prolific offensive players for the Indians, and that one goes all the way back to senior goalkeeper Josh Rabideau for the Cougars, who gets a quick restart, gets it over the head of Lamica, and that one's going to roll all the way back to his counterpart at the other end of the field, who is Michael Danis, in net for the Indians. This is a much anticipated matchup between, like I said, the number 1 and number 2 seeds coming into this Section 7 Class B tournament. This is actually the 4th time that these two teams have met. Each contest ending up in a 1-goal affair. One of them ending up in a 3-2 overtime victory by the Cougars. So we will see how things shake out here. It seems to be pretty energetic so far in the first minute or so of the contest. The Indians will now take a goal kick, get things out towards midfield. This is Marcus Lefebvre for the Cougars, who has been out with an injury for most of the second half of the season. His first time back in quite a few games. So we'll see how this works out. Up on the front line, as usual, for Coach Hawksby and the Cougars is the high-scoring number 19 Kyle McCarthy, and Austin Tatro, the sensational sophomore. Here's a nice ball that was sent inside for Hunter, but was stepped in front of by Jonathan Plessis-Belair to see if they can't get an opportunity going back the other way for the Indians. So the Indians trying to come up with a little momentum here. Zach Gay steps in front of that throw in and pushes it in the front of the center for Trombley. Trombley, nice through ball there, but it skips off the pretty wet turf and 2 hops back to Michael Danis, who'd come off his line quite a ways to make that play. You guys were here for the earlier game. Did the field conditions seem to make any difference in what was going on?
Sure it does. It's going to. Yeah, it's slippery. You're going to have to. This game might come down to a mistake. Who slips? You know, it's slippery out there.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just real greasy.
Yeah. So field conditions certainly could play into a contest like this, where both teams are strong defensively and are very opportunistic offensively. If ball skips past the defender that don't expect it, and offensive players are there to jump on it, we could see some surprise goals.
Well, Brian Norcross was down here today, and he was out in that field. He was working it hard to make sure it was in condition for this championship game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this field, with all the drainage that it has and all the work that's been put into it, always seems to pick up some extra moisture this time of year.
Yeah, it does. It always does.
But the crew that work here do a fantastic job of getting it playable night in.
I think it's a crew of 2.
Yeah, well, whatever. A crew of 1 could be whatever. Whoever it is, they do it.
Actually, Norcross
do a great job of getting it ready to play day in and day out. This time of year, this pitch gets a lot of play, no doubt about that.
And normally it's nasty out. A lot of times we've been
this time of year we got to You got to expect the weather to not really play the kind of game that we like it to play. There's a nice effort by the Indians down, get it out to the 18. Tom Bedard does a good job of slowing down the effort. Here's Dick on the right side trying to put one in the center. He does. There's a dangerous ball. It's sent inside. Rabideau comes off his line and grabs it before Ian Spear can run onto the ball. So good possession there by the Indians to make something happen with number 22, Justin Wiley, doing a pretty good job of getting that work deep into the box. There's Bedard, pushes it out to the outside for McCarthy. McCarthy sends it back in for Bedard, who come up from his defensive play position, but gets turned back around the other way. Here's Spear. He sends one for Dick. Dick has it go off the side of his foot, and that's going to roll over the end line. So once again, the Indians are springing out of that defensive end with 3 guys up, trying to keep the defense packed in their zone, but still have some life up front. Rabideau will get the ball going. Bedard makes a nice move to step that one up, but Spear gets in front of it. Gay is going to track this one out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in. That one gets headed back in the middle by Newsel. Spear comes up with it. He and Bedard collide. Ball goes the Indians' way. Bedard heads that one out, and Tremblay makes a nice play there. Hustle on the ball. Sends it out, but it gets cut off by Spear. Spear's a hustler, and he's not going to give up anything. There's a nice ball inside for Wiley, but heads it the wrong way, and Gay comes up with a loose ball. Stays with it, and takes it down the right side, but he's going to kick it just a little bit too far and get it out of bounds. Here's Gay again, and that's going to go to White. Officials for tonight's contest in the center of things is Jamie Labarge. On the sidelines we have Larry Bayshard and Dennis Labarge, I believe. Here's Lamica. This is Newsel working for it, but Tetro goes down. Ball comes out. Here's Bedard with an opportunity, but that gets pushed back for Spear. Spear is going to turn around and send one up. Zach, there's the mistake we were talking about. Jacob Dick, who's got some speed. He tries to get by, but Rodney Grimshaw comes by and cuts that off. So great defensive play there by Grimshaw to come from his right side position as the ball skipped by Gay, and Dick made a nice move to get by the sweeper Garrett Bigor, but Grimshaw was there to cut that off. So there's that mistake that you were talking about, Joe, early on, and could have to the speedy Jacob Dick.
Grimshaw did a great job recovering on that one. That was nice.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to make plays like that too often.
No, and again, that mistake got by one defender, and all that Dick had to do was make a nice move on the other one, and had Grimshaw not come in there, that was a breakaway.
Should have got rid of it.
And that shot's going to scoot in. Rabideau's going to cautiously play that one before it goes over the end line. And so Indians with the bulk of the possession here in the first, early going here in the first half. A couple of good quality shots on goal, and making Josh Rabideau and the defense work to keep the ball out of the back of the net. Here's Tremblay trying to get the Cougar offense organized. But that one slips back and gets pushed forward. Here's Hunter. Hunter tries to get it out to the wing for Lefebvre, but it goes out of bounds. We'll go back the other way for a Indian throw-in. Got about 8.5 minutes gone here in the first half. It's been a pretty active first half so far. Like I said, with the Indians having the better of the opportunities. Here's Spear, pushes himself wide, looking for some support. And goes out of bounds. It's going to be a Indian throw-in.
If you're obviously a Northeastern fan, you aren't liking the flow of the game right now because it is definitely favoring Peru.
Absolutely. That's so far the Cougars have not been able to get anything going at all offensively, and they've been having to struggle to keep the Indians from getting any real grade A scoring opportunities. So, and now we got a corner kick opportunity as well. So
This is really.
You talked about Rabideau on goal. That ball was skipping to him.
Right.
That last one. So.
Yeah. So here's a real good opportunity for the Indians on the first corner kick of the game. And that one never comes in bounds, so Cougars dodge a little bit of a bullet there. I think the kicker, was it Belair? Yeah, I'm not sure who it was. Yeah, Dick probably slipped a little bit as he was getting ready to put that ball in play. He's checking his cleats. I think maybe he got into a little bit of that mud over there where Calvin and the rest of the non-payers come in. Handicap. Oh, in the handicap spot. I'm sorry.
When is my turn, Joe?
Actually, we had a discussion about this at the last game, and I was telling him how I don't mind paying the money to get in because I'm sure it goes to somebody worthwhile, and I got comped on the way in at the ticket booth, so I felt pretty good about that.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I didn't have to sneak my way in through the hand. Yeah, the kid in the booth knew me. He said, "You're doing the announcing, right?" Yeah. Oh, go ahead. I like that. So I wasn't gonna argue with
Why
him.
not? And you didn't buy us any Mickey fries.
No. I'm looking at.
Calvin was wondering about.
I'm looking out for your health. There's an opportunity for Tatro, but just off his foot, and the ball goes out of bounds. So Cougars trying to keep the ball in the attacking half here. Let's see what happens. This is basically the longest time that they've had it in this end of the field. Here's Hunter. He gets pushed off the ball, and it gets knocked out of bounds. So opportunity for the long throw of Rodney Grimshot to see if we can come up with some kind of an opportunity here.
He has a really distinct throw, and if he can get this off, it's pretty slippery. So
yeah,
it's gonna be
the slippery ball sometimes affects this throw, but he does have the ability to get it deep in the box, and
he's got that bounce throw.
yeah. Yeah, the ball's right on goal, and Dennis can't handle it, so it goes out of bounds, and that'll result in a corner kick. So I'm not sure if Michael Dennis was unsure where that ball was going or exactly what he was, what the thought process there, but he punched it out of bounds, and now the Cougars will get a corner kick. Tremblay delivers to the nice box, and there it is, past Dennis off the head of Austin Tatro. So the Cougars with the early opportunity, 27 minutes and 35 seconds to go here in the first half. So the Cougars get on the board first with a basically their first offensive opportunity of the evening. And Avery Tremblay with an absolutely perfect ball right at the top of the six, and Austin Tatro gets the head on it, gets it past Michael Dennis. So, and yes, it is Joey Tremblay's nephew. Okay, all right, his third assist so far since Joey's been up here in the booth, and I'm thinking you want to mention something about that?
What I was going to say is that Avery has just this knack on the corner kicks to put it right into where it needs to be, and we've seen that the last two games.
We have, absolutely. I can't agree with you more. So make sure you note on your tweets or whatever it is that not only is he Joey's nephew, but I coached him in Pee Wee.
Unfortunately, yeah, it happens.
So anyway, after all of that fanfare and accolades for Avery Tremblay, well deserved as they are, the Cougars go up by a 1-0 score here with about 15 minutes, just under 15 minutes gone here in the first half to take the early lead, even after Peru had...
Do you know the Cougars' record on this field, on this George Brendler Field?
I do not. I can tell you that their record in Class B sectional finals is probably not over 500.
Because PHS has always been a thorn in the
Yeah, because of their losses to PHS late in the season. So,
and those were some great games. A lot of those.
Right.
They were classics.
So here's Spear showing some fancy footwork. Not willing to let that 1-0 lead keep him down. He's going to put the pressure on and see if they can't keep pressuring the way they were in the first 10 minutes of the contest. That's always a backbreaker when you appear to be in control of the contest with the offensive opportunities and have the opposing team come down and score on their first or second opportunity. So. Spear again.
Still do a lot of forward play. Huh? They don't like to possess the ball a long time. It seems like it's just, he's got a guy open. They just keep the ball.
Yeah.
Just keep the ball for a while. It's slippery out. Just keep possession. You got the lead.
I think you dance with the one that brung you, and
that's true.
Their method has been all year is to get it to McCarthy and Tatro all front.
And it's worked.
Yeah, and it works pretty well for him. So here's another set piece for the Indians. Jacob Dick once again with the kick. This one from about 35, and he's going to put that one to the far corner of the box, and that goes right by everybody. Flag is up. I'm not sure what he's going to call here, but
he could call it.
maybe he called him offside. Could be, yeah.
Do that or dive. I don't know. I didn't see him.
I would think if it was a linesman call, I think if they call a foul, they're waving it. I think if it goes straight up, it's an offside call. But it's just conjecture. I don't know for sure. If at halftime we get a chance to ask him, we'll ask him.
You are right.
I think you're 100% right.
You're right.
And that ball is skipped low, but Hunter comes back and collects it and see if he can't do something with it. Wiley is there, but Hunter tries to get it forward through, kicks it back the other way. And they push it down the wing, but no Cougars there. 14 is Nixon on the right back for Coach Armstrong. And that one's going to go out of bounds.
Not D. Yeah.
So Coach Hawksby goes to the bench, puts in the first reserves of the contest. Number 8, Dustin Pupor, and number 5, Ryan Marks are in the contest. Here's Trombley. Gives it over for Bedard. Bedard tries to push one wide for Pupor, but it gets knocked away by Nixon, and we're going to have a whistle on the play and a hold with Tom Bedard, so he slows that down, but the Indians will get a restart. 15 is Russ Lefebvre here on the left side of the defense for the Indians. Sends that one forward. Here's Spear, pushes it back for Plessius Belair. There's a nice ball inside, but it gets defended nicely there by Garrett Vigor and Zach Gay to knock that out of bounds. Nice ball sent forward by the Indians, but Wiley wasn't able to possess the ball long enough to get a shot on the goal. So here's the throw in. Wiley hustles to it, keeps it in. Here's Dick, sends the ball right on goal. One hops, and Rabideau cuts the angle down and short hops it and scoops it up. But once again, that slick field is making the shots on goal interesting. So that's over the head. Nice play there by Pupor, but Lefebvre stays with it, sends a nice ball down for Wiley. Gay watches it go out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in. Lefebvre comes up, makes that play. But Hunter misplays it, and Belair is able to come up with it, but it comes back the other way. Here's Hunter. He's going to send one through, but that hooks in just a little bit too far. Dennis comes off his line and grabs it before McCarthy can get to it. So McKenna Hunter sends a nice delivery into the box, but had it hooking just a little bit too much. Here's a ball, goes over the head of Marks. Trombley turns around, sends it down the left side. Dixon is there, and he turns around, sends it back the other way. Bigor heads it into the center, goes over the head. Here's Tatro trying to make a nice move. This is a mistake, comes through for Pupor, but touched it one time, and Dennis wisely came off his line and scooped it up. So there's a ball that was misplayed by a defender, and Dustin Pupor ran on it and had an opportunity, but just touched it just a little bit too far. Here's Plessius Belair playing the ball. Cut off by Trombley. Bedard's going to turn around and send it deep, but that one goes right to Dennis, who sucks that one up with not too much effort at all. Here's Dick. And he's going to draw the whistle. So once again, Jacob Dick will put this ball in play just over midfield. He sends it into the box. This is a dangerous ball. Rabideau comes out and punches it wide. Hunter had a little bit of time to settle that down and do something different with it, but instead decides to kick it long. Here's an opportunity, and it goes just wide of the net. There was a golden opportunity for Ian Spear, who had that ball hop over everybody's head and found himself all alone at the 6-yard line with the ball on his foot, and Rabideau completely out of position, but wasn't able to put any direction on the ball, and the Cougars dodged a major bullet there. That could have easily found the back of the net.
Especially when you got Spear about 3 feet from you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was a pretty good opportunity. I bet you he's wishing he could get that one back. Here's Wiley. He heads one forward for Dick, but he's triple team there. There's a shot on goal, but didn't get much mustard on that one, and Rabideau had it played pretty decent. So once again, the Indians showing all the pressure that they need to show.
Well, my guess is he can't get his footing in that down that by the goal area, and they probably can't get the leverage they need to get that shot off. I'm guessing.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's as slippery for the offensive players as it is for the defensive players. So here's Ryan Marks hustling for one down in the corner. He turns around, sends one into the box, but it goes over the end line. So once again, we got end-to-end action here with the Indians showing some sustained pressure down on their end, and then Cougars bringing it down the other end for an opportunity. We got about 18 and a half minutes to go here in the first half. The Cougars clinging to that 1-0 lead on the goal by Austin Tatro. Pupor steps into this one, but comes back to Hunter. Here's Pupor. He's going to send one back. Lamica has it go off his leg. Loose ball there. Here's Hunter again in the midfield. He controls. He's looking for something to happen. Tries to get it for Pupor, but the Indian defense steps up. So here's Spear. Gay takes it away from him. Pushes it down the right side and gets knocked out of bounds by Lefebvre. Spears looking for the call here, but that was all pretty clean as far as what I saw from up here. It just seemed like Lefebvre was playing the ball.
Pitch in, Zach. Pitch in. Let's go. Not doing nothing out here.
Here's the long throw by Grimshaw in the box. It goes over his head. McCarthy gets a whack on it, but it looks like it got deflected, and that's going to end up in another corner kick for the Two came over from the other side, got his body in front of that, and McCarthy had a great whack at that as it went over everybody's head, kind of surprised everybody. Once again, here's Trombley with the corner kick, but that goes over everybody's head. Wiley comes away with it and tries to get it up towards midfield, but it goes out of bounds, and that'll be a throw in for the Cougars. Action heating up here with 16 and a half to go in the first half. Here's McCarthy with an opportunity, but that goes out of bounds, and it's going to result in a corner kick as well. So we'll see one from the other side.
Whose name you haven't really called a whole lot is McCarthy.
Yeah, McCarthy. He's been in there. He's been scrapping,
They've been
but
doing a good job of keeping the ball away from them. They had possession, but Northeastern threatening again. A couple corner kicks, and that's how they got their first goal.
yeah. Well, the fourth time around, you seem to intend to change your game plan a little bit.
McCarthy burns you all the time.
Yeah.
I still think he's elusive enough.
And here we go with another corner kick to the back of the box. That one gets headed by McCarthy, who's still alive. Marks gets a whack at it, scramble in the box, but it finally gets cleared out by, looked like Ian Spear finally put a foot on that to loosen it up. And here comes Marks, chases it out of bounds. So the Cougars trying to sustain some pressure here, but Indians with a quick throw in will get it back upfield. Skips by Wiley, but here's Dick with it. He sends it into the middle. Bedard gets it back over. This is Bigor. Here gives it for Hunter. Hunter takes a nice ball down into the box, but skips just a little bit and hooked it just a little bit too close into the keeper. And Dennis has been not shy to come off his line to grab these balls that come into the box. Here's Dick, sends it into the center. Trombley tries to get it over for Marks, but Hunter finally ends up with the ball, pushes one wide. Tatro and Nixon battle for it, and it goes out of bounds. That'll be an Indian throw-in. And that one's knocked out of bounds.
Patrick Parent's number 20.
Patrick Parent, number 20, yeah.
Okay. So I don't have a 0 after his 2.
Oh,
I figured Avery is number 2 because Joey Trombley did let us know that.
he told you that?
Times.
He told you number 2, my nephew, number 2, the guy that had the assist on the first goal?
Being made sport of here. What's going on?
Nothing. Here's McCarthy. Makes one move. Will get a shot off, but it's nicely blocked there by Lamica. But looks like we're going to get another corner kick out of this. So McCarthy made a couple of decent moves there to spring himself loose. Took a left-handed shot, but Colin Lamica came over and deflected it off his ankle and knocked it out of bounds. So as Joe Pussant said earlier, we haven't called Kyle McCarthy's name too much. He's been pretty much locked up inside. Here's a ball off the head of McCarthy, which we see a lot of. And
So he's deadly.
Yeah,
He's good, really good in the air, Kyle is. Good in the air and on the ground, but his ability to knock balls in the back of the net in the air for the errors with his head is pretty good.
yeah, he has a good
One of the good ones.
has a good eye for the ball. Knows the angles, knows where it's going to be, and I would be surprised if he doesn't factor into the scoring by the end of the night.
Who's that?
Kyle McCarthy.
Oh, Carthy. Oh, we can get one off his head. I'm just going by statistics.
Statistics would
You heard it right up here. I
would
got
have
the
it.
call right now.
Okay, all righty.
And we got 12 in the first half left.
Yeah, we got a lot of time left for this. Oh, and I think that's going to be a whistle.
Stay wide!
If it was Carthy, he'd blow the whistle, and he'd have a conversion, a little conversation, show the color. Depends on the coach, and he said, when you're down there, if they think it was a legit card.
So Hunter will take this free kick, And he sends it into the box. Dennis is way out. Ball's loose. Bedard gets a foot on it, and that's over the top of the crossbar. So Michael Dennis came out to make the play. Couldn't quite corral it. Tom Bedard, up from his defensive position, had an opportunity. But
you mentioned the officials tonight.
I have already.
Okay, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
That's
Keep
okay.
going. Joey does that to me all the time.
Yeah, I did that while you guys were talking about something much less important, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Been a pretty entertaining game.
Yeah, so far this is
3 Northeastern versus Peru, so Northeastern's
this
got some
one's-
better chances.
Get outside, get outside.
there's Parent. He's going to draw the whistle. Lefebvre will put the ball in play. And Gay knocks it down. Hunter and Blessius Blair collide. Blair sends the ball into the box. This one is a little slow developing, but Rabideau decides pretty quickly to come off his line and grab that one. Wiley was there. Here's Dick trying to assert himself. Here's Lefebvre, gets the ball poked away from him. Wiley controls, sends it back for Nussel. Nussel in the center, but that one skips by Bigor. And Bedard puts it right in the center to Ian Spear. Ball is scrambled. Spear comes away with it. And we're going to have a whistle on the play. So once again, the Indians with a restart just over midfield. So Dick will get this restarted. The Indians have certainly had their opportunities off these free kicks. There's a ball that's in the center. Gay knocks it up in the air, and that one goes just over the crossbar. Zach Gay saved a certain goal there as Rabideau came up to make that play, but a lot of bodies in the middle there, and Rabideau wasn't able to corral it. Zach Gay was on Johnny on the spot there and kicked that ball out of bounds. So.
Well, Joe, the Indians have had about at least 3 grade A chances here in this first half.
Yeah,
and the Cougars have withstood the storm.
Yeah, so I think we see what's developing so far in the first half is that the Indians are controlling the play. The Cougar defense has been able to hold strong and capitalize on the offensive opportunities that they have had. So.
Well, as you say, Joe, they're bending, but they aren't breaking. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't want to, if I were Coach Hawksby, I don't think I'd be preaching this game plan. Here's a nice ball by Spear.
Oh, what a save by Rabideau.
Who did everything but put it in the goal. Josh Rabideau makes a nice one-handed save, and the defense does the rest. So Spear individually ran through about 6 defenders there, it seemed like, and delivered a nice ball across. Rabideau got a hand on it and pushed it out of the way, and the defense cleared it away. So. But here we go again with the same restart that the Indians have had time and time again here in the first half with 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go. I don't know that we can. The Cougars want to keep giving them these opportunities. This one goes all the way back to Rabideau, who decides to punch it out. Dick gets an opportunity on the run in, and he's going to push it over the end line. All right, Cougars get the ball back in play. There's a ball sent back, but one hops back to Dennis. So Cougars playing that long kick, trying to make something happen up front. But here's Marks, gets undercut by Plessis Belair, so this will be a free kick for the Cougars.
Rodney, come on, Rodney! Zach, switch for Rodney a minute. Rodney, come over here! Quickly! Take off. Take off.
Here's Bedard, pushes one down the right wing, but gets kicked out of bounds, and this will be a throw in for the Cougars.
Grimshaw didn't quite catch on.
No, I don't think he caught the gist of what that was going on, but he's in the right. He doesn't have to run too far to catch his throw in anyway. So anyway, Grimshaw with the long throw. This one's a little bit short. Comes into the box. Nussel turns it around, comes out for Marks, but Dick controls and sends one long. Gay comes over and plays the ball before Wiley can get there. Sends it into the center, but it goes by Marks, back for Spear. Spear turns around, sends it to the right side. This is Peter Daly, I believe, over there, number 6 on the right, or number 5, is it? McCall? Over on the right wing. We haven't called his name. We haven't McCalled his name yet tonight. Indians with a throw in, but gets sent the other way. Here's McCarthy with an opportunity, but Lamica pushes it out of the way. Thu makes a nice chase and keeps it from going over the end line. Be a throw in for the Cougars. They will wait for Grimshaw to come down and take the long throw in. We've got 5.5 to go here in the first half. Cougars with a 1-goal lead. Don't need to rush anything at this point, but we'll take the opportunity for the long throw in. We'll see if they can't make another offensive opportunity here. This works much like a corner kick. The distance that Grimshaw can chuck this ball. So that one's in the box, but right to Dennis, who had that one played pretty good, and punts it back out towards midfield. Goes over the head of a couple players. Marks sends it back for Plessis Belair. Gets it up for Wiley, but goes over his head, and Gay kicks it out of touch for a throw in. So they go back to the benches. Indians with the throw in. Will be a Peru throw in. There's Dick. Sends a nice ball in. And Rabideau comes out and catches that one on the short hop once again. If he can survive the next 4 minutes in that mud pit down there at that end, I think he's done a pretty decent job of keeping that ball from going behind him, as he's been tested a couple of decent times. I mean, there's been some good scoring opportunities, and not only the good scoring opportunities, but balls like that short hop coming in on that slippery end.
Action down here for a couple of minutes. It was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I missed some of that.
Yeah. No, it was a lot of different things happening. Here's a ball that's sent into the box, and again that one skips out to Dennis, and that's is it Lefebvre? No, Lefebvre's got the mohawk going on. So
who's this with the
parent? No, it's Pupor. Dustin Pupor came in a little bit strong, and referee Labarge had to have a little conversation with him. I'm sure it wasn't intentional, being a slippery field and all. This is Lefebvre working against Thu. He gets the ball, pushes it wide for Tremblay. Tremblay's going to send it back to the top of the 18, but it goes behind everybody, and nice play there by Tatro. Marks tries to turn one back around, but it gets defended by Lamica. Here's Bigor, sends it forward. Tatro and Nussel run for it. Nussel gets the best of that one. Here we get like a ping pong match going around here at midfield. Marks finally gets it over for Lefebvre. Tremblay to get things organized. Here's Lefebvre on the left side. He sends a nice pass in, but Thu makes steps in front of that one before McCarthy can get his head on it. Bedard's going to push it back in. Cougars trying to sustain some offense here in the closing minutes of the first half. That's going to be a hard foul, and that's going to bring out the card.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard foul, I would think.
There's no reason for that, really.
So Ryan McCall draws the yellow card, and will have to leave the pitch for the next play anyway. And at the same time, Coach Hawksby will go to the bench. I don't know if you can hear any of that stuff going on in the stands, but it's pretty good stuff. We can't repeat it. We can't repeat it on hometown cable, but
No, this is a family channel.
it's a family channel.
Family channel.
Here's another long throw by Grimshaw. That goes into the box. Wiley gets the head on it, comes out. Marks is a little tardy getting there. Spears the one who puts the foot on it. Finally, looks like Lefebvre clears it out, comes back. Bigor sends it back in. Marks pushes it to an open wing. And here's the Indians. Bigor breaks that up. Lefebvre tries to push it behind him, but gets pushed up the other way. Jacob Dick corrals the ball. Tries to push it forward for Wiley. Wiley sends it wide. Grimshaw is there to turn things around, and he gets taken down. And there's going to be a whistle on that play. So Rodney Grimshaw makes a nice defensive play there, but Wiley takes him down, and there will be a free kick back the other way. We're under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. And that one gets kicked forward. Lefebvre is the first one to it. Tries to get it up for McCarthy. McCarthy in two. There's a ball that's sent to the right side, but hooks just a little bit too far in. Dennis comes out and picks it up. Tries to get things going back the other way. And that one ricochets off a couple Cougars. Comes back to Plessis Belair. Here's Dick with an opportunity. Tries to get it over Wiley, but it's cut off. Grimshaw gets a head on it. Mark sends it into the middle. And there's Hunter. He gets it up for Pupor. Pupor with the ball. Gives it for Hunter. Hunter sends it up for McCarthy. McCarthy has it in the middle of the field. Gives it for Pupor. Pupor tries to one-time it back to McCarthy, but doesn't get the pass past the defense. Here's Plessis Belair. That's up for Dick, but it gets cut off again by the Cougars. Zach Gay sends it up for Pupor. Heads it over the head of the defense, but Lamica is there, sends it back the other way. Plessis Belair tries to flick it forward, and here's Marks, but ball is hit at the whistle, and it hits the crossbar. It goes over the top. That would have counted. I don't know. That would have been an interesting basketball. It would have been an interesting call right there, but that was a blast by Jacob Dick right after the horn sounded, and it bounced off the crossbar. We would have had the crowd having some conversations after that one, I think. I'm not sure. Usually, most professional soccer games and whatnot don't go by a scoreboard. They go by the official on the field, and until the official blows his whistle, says the half is over. That's still going. Another question we could ask him after we get done with the flag waving thing. Now, what would have happened had that goal gone in? So,
We'll find out right now.
all right, I'm going to take a break. You're going to have the microphone in case you're still.
Well, hello, everyone. We're here to start the second half, and I'm Joey Trombley, and the voice of the Cougars, Joe Southwick, headed off to the snack shack, and we think he's probably waiting in line for the Mickey fries there, Joe.
Hope he didn't fall in the fryer.
Well, I'm just thinking I think he's pulling a Joe Poisson. He's out there enjoying the fries, and he'll get here when he wants to get here.
He might be doing a Joey Trombley, signing autographs.
Yeah, right. Well, the first half was a very entertaining first half, as you heard it called by the voice of the Cougars, Joe Southwick. And Shazy is, I'm used to saying Shazy, Joe, at Northeastern, took advantage of their opportunity in that first half.
Well, they only had 3 shots on goal. They put one in, and a nice header, Austin Tatro. A corner kick from Avery Trombley, and that was really one of their best chances. Peru had 6 shots and at least 4 quality chances.
Absolutely, 3 or 4 grade A opportunities. But here, Northeastern has an opportunity here early in the second half.
It's a good spot for him.
It's looking like a set play here. and Hunter, McKenna Hunter with the shot, and it's cleared out by the defense. It'll come on the near sideline. And nice speed here by the Cougars, and it's knocked out of bounds by number 12 for the Cougars, and that would be Marcus Lefebvre.
He's the one just back from the injury. He was out. Joe Southwick was saying he was out for the last half of the season. It's good to see him back here tonight. He's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Well, it's a throw in here for the Cougars, and we know that Rodney Grimshaw, his throw-ins are like corner kicks here for the Cougars. And you know that Mr. McCarthy's looking to get his head on this. Half his goals are scored by headers, and he'd like nothing more in a championship game to do that. And it's in the box. It doesn't land. And, Joe, you always say don't let that box land in the box. Ball in the box. And there's a collision. The goalie's down as well as Lefebvre.
Dennis, the keeper for
They
Peru.
both went at it hard. And I think Lefebvre's knee got him.
Yeah. And they could ill afford to lose Dennis. He's played pretty well.
Yeah, we're hearing the after effects from the fan base across the road. I don't know if you're picking up on hometown cable, like Joe says, and we have a Joe Southwick sighting. We see Joe Southwick on the other end of the field working his way back, and he's licking his chops. And I'm thinking it's a case of the Mickey fries, Joe.
I don't blame him.
No, you can't blame him. We'll give him the mic when he gets right back up here.
You did grab it pretty fast, Joey.
Did what fast?
Grab that microphone.
Oh yeah, you handed it to me, Joe.
There. You were right there. Just pounced on it like a seagull on a Mickey fry.
Well, there's the goal kick here by the Indians.
Good move.
And it's Austin Tatro. He has some uncanny speed here. And there's a nice cross, and it's McCarthy. And McCarthy, it goes. It is a deflection. McCarthy got his head on it, but also went off the Peru defender. But what a setup by Austin Tatro, and McCarthy got his head on it, which he's been done well all year.
He was right there. Northeastern's coming out strong in this half.
They are, because Peru
Very
had him
strong.
in that first half, I thought.
They had him on the ropes a few times, and Northeastern was able to avoid it. But boy, they just avoided when their Peru did. Dennis.
Well, it's McKenna Hunter for the corner kick here for the Cougars. And it's on the ground, and it's cleared out by the defense. And going back there for the Cougars
Zach Gay.
is Zach Gay. And the voice of the Cougars has made it back. Joe Southwick, I'm sure it was Mickey fries and a burger, and he lost the track of time. And folks, we're giving you back the voice of the Cougars, Joe Southwick.
Yeah, great. Well, you almost got your goal off the head of Kyle McCarthy there as walking by the back of the goal. I'm sure you mentioned something about that.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah, that didn't miss by much. Sorry, I'm late.
So was it the Mickey fries? We're betting Mickey fries.
Just an
Joe said
extremely long line at the Job Johnny's.
Maybe you're getting your hair done.
Well, I signed a few autographs while I was standing in line, but the main purpose was to...
Surprised you weren't mobbed over there, Joe.
Who said I wasn't?
Yeah, who says that?
I have a lot of fans here in Shazy.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, this is a pretty good crowd on hand this evening. I'll tell you, I did walk down here and get a
feeling for the crowd.
I did get a little mood
You
of
were
the
closer
crowd.
to that collision than we were. What happened down there? It was a legit collision. I mean, it wasn't nothing dirty.
That's good service.
Or anything dirty, I should say.
No, it was a pretty close ball. Marcus Lefebvre, like I said, he's been out for the last 6 or 8 games. He's hungry for some. He's a senior. I think he's a captain on the team. He's hungry for some action, and the ball was right there. He put his foot up, and Dennis was making a pretty aggressive move to the ball.
Yeah, it was nothing egregious.
No, it was all pretty legit. I know Marcus felt pretty bad about the whole thing. Again, here's McCarthy, sends one to the right side for Parent. Parent's got some space. He's going to hook one into the box. That's going to one hop back to Dennis. Dennis takes another shot. So he's hanging tough back there despite the pressure of the Cougars here early on in the second half. Ball rolls back to Grimshaw. Grimshaw flicks it forward. Tremblay tries to get it going. Here's McCall. Tremblay controls. Lefebvre has it. Pushes it down the left side for McCarthy. McCarthy tries to get it passed through. Pushes one past him. Lamica's there to clean that up. Sends it back to midfield. Skips over the head of Jacob Dick and out of bounds. So Grimshaw will throw that one in. McCall cuts it off. Blair sends it forward. Lefebvre makes a nice play there. Parent saves the ball. Tatro makes a nice move to get it by Musil over on the right side. Still has the ball. He's the one that delivered that ball to McCarthy. That was chipped forward. It's live in the box, and that's going to be a corner kick. So Tremblay will take the kick from the right side of the field with the that left-footed kick. We'll in-swing this right into the box. We'll see if we can get some kind of an offensive opportunity here. And that one's going to go out towards the top of the box. Hunter and Wiley battle for it, but it goes past everyone. Spear picks it up on the right side here with some space. Lefebvre hustles back and cuts him off. Sends it back for Grimshaw, who shanks it out of bounds and into the
Left foot. He's gonna use that left foot.
into the scorer's box down below. Nixon will get this one going. Grimshaw knocks that one out. So once again, the Indians are blowing some pressure here. Just a little over 7 minutes gone in here in the second half. Here's Plessis Belair. He's going to take a shot. Oh, that's a heck of a shot with the left foot by Jonathan Plessis Belair from outside the 18. And Rabideau had to track that one pretty good as it was looking for the far post. Grimshaw sends the ball in. Lefebvre is going to push one down, but Indians are going to be the first to it. That's going to go out.
Get on the side of him! Get on the side of 22! He's going to get the ball for you!
Grimshaw with the throw. That's going to skip over into the center. And that's going to go all the way back to Dennis. Looked like referee Labarge was ready to blow the whistle there, but saw the advantage, so decided against it. And the ball rolls all the way back to Dennis. Gets it back to midfield. This one skips back for Gay. Gay pops it up in the air. Tatro is the first one, and that's going to draw a whistle.
That could be a card, too.
That's the second time he's done that.
He doesn't really need to do that. That could be a card.
Taking off the gloves. And the whistle blows.
He's going to give him a card now.
And the yellow card comes out, as called by Joe Pussop. So do you think
I
it
don't
was...
think it was for the foul. I think it was for
for
some...
taking off the gloves?
So, yeah.
It's just like in hockey. Who was talking about the hockey game earlier on, right? So he threw his gloves down. Doesn't that mean something?
He dropped the gloves.
He dropped his gloves. That means something. Oh, Spear is getting the yellow card.
So it
Okay.
must be Spear for verbal
Maybe
verbal abuse.
Maybe some verbal abuse.
That's what I'm thinking.
Not a wise play.
No.
They need him on the field.
Yeah.
They need him on the field.
Certainly an impact player.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, when you single-handedly come back against the beat and score 3 goals with 20 minutes to play.
All right, so the Cougars with a restart here, just over midfield. And just about 10 minutes gone here in the second half. Tom Bernard will get this restarted. Referee Labarge still sorting things out and trying to calm down Jonathan Plessis Blair, who got the foul called on him, and not sure what all the rest of the extracurricular stuff was. There's a ball that's rattled around at the top of the 18, rolls all the way back to Michael Dennis, and the Indians will retreat. Dennis will punt one out towards midfield, goes over the head of Bedard. Grimshaw punches it back forward. Wynn holds that one up, and Nussel heads it for, Nussel heads it forward. Grimshaw has it. Tries to get it for Lefebvre. And here's Plessis Belair. Gets it up to the left side, but goes a little bit too far, and the Cougars come away with it. There's a 50-50 ball that's touched away the other way. I think Coach Hawksby might have been smart to hold his sub back for another whistle or two to keep Spear off the field. But
Well, he's adjusting as every coach does, and he sees something out there. So
I think Joe's right.
again, I would not send a sub up to stand next to the opposing sub because
not him.
any ball that goes over the touchline, then he's able to put his sub back in.
Yeah.
that's correct.
So
So Coach
just-
Hawksby has no fear of Spear.
apparently he has no fear.
He
Does
does not
not
fear the
fear the Spear.
I think he was checking on Tatro because Tatro was upended and he's had a couple concussions. And
Okay.
It makes sense.
If that's the player that he took out,
Yeah.
I didn't notice, but if that makes all the sense in the world. Calvin, you're always wise.
He is the founding father, and when he speaks, he's like E.F. Hutton, man. We listen up here.
Absolutely. I've never heard him say anything wrong.
the first thing that Tatro did was went over and talked to the
Trainer.
with Tim Miller.
Okay. All right. They're very observant of you. I was looking at a different angle of the whole thing. So.
Well, I said the same thing in a different way, but
And
did he?
apparently another yellow card, and through all of our discussion, we missed that.
He's going to tell Coach Hawksby what's going on.
I think so.
All right. Are we allowed to rebroadcast that stuff? No? Okay.
Unless he said spit.
Oh no! Wow, I didn't mean
I thought I heard spit.
I didn't mean the exact words. I just thought we could maybe comment on what referee Labarge's thinking is at this point. There's a great ball into the box. Spear comes up, gets a head on it, and Rabideau comes down with it.
Rabideau and Spear having words.
Actually
not.
They know each other, believe me, after this is the fourth game. And last year, listen, they all know each other.
Here's Lefebvre with a good play down the left side. And Dick comes from nowhere and clears that one out. And we will have another Cougar throw in. So anyway, after matching yellow cards from side to side, Coach Labarge has explained that the players are critiquing his referee style and indicated that he will keep calling the game as he sees it, and the players are not to interfere with his decisions. So here's Jacob Dick doing a one-man show down the right sideline. We got a whistle on the play.
I don't see that.
I'm sorry?
I didn't see that.
I didn't see anything.
Joe didn't see it.
So whether it was the right call or not, I'll not be able to debate it, and neither will any of our viewers because the camera didn't get it. So anyway,
That was a bad call.
alrighty. You want a yellow card?
If Tom Lacey was here, I probably would get one.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because I think that was what the last two cards were handed out for. So
Maybe they're on to something. Who knows?
alrighty.
I'll see Dennis and Jamie that way.
Sure.
Oh, nice move.
Well, Dennis, I don't think has made too many bad calls, according to the players. Anyway, here's McCarthy. Sends one to the right side. Parent's going to run on it.
he's got to take a touch.
And he sends it into the middle. Lamica lines it right up for Tremblay. Tremblay sends it over for Lefebvre. Lefebvre, a nice play there, and takes the shot, but doesn't get a whole lot of wood on it. And Dennis had it lined up pretty good. I think he's kind of hungry for something to happen out there. Here's a nice ball sent forward by Spear, and Grimshaw can't handle it, goes out of bounds, and we get mass substitutions. Colby Provost, number 6, comes in for the Cougars for the first time, as does Austin Tatro back in the game, and Bradley Baker, number 2, comes in for the Indians. Dick sends this one into the middle. Bedard sends it upfield, and that one's chipped forward. McCarthy goes down. Whistle on the play, and it's going to come back for a free kick for the Cougars on a delayed call. We got 25 and a half to go here in the second half. Cougars clinging to that 1-0 lead on the early goal by Austin Tatro in the first half. But we can see that Coach Hawksby hasn't changed his game plan a whole heck of a lot here in the second half. He relies heavily on that 4-man back, and that's where he's going to stay. Here's a loose ball, chipped forward, but the Indians are there, and that one gets cleared out. Comes off the foot of Tom Bedard, and it's going to be an Indian throw-in. Daly comes off for the Indians. McCall is beckoned back in by Coach Armstrong. There's Tremblay, sends one forward, gets booted back away by Thu. Begor pounds it back. Lamica off the side of his foot. Here's Marks. He's going to get a shot on goal. It's loose in the box. And McCarthy's going to get a whack at it. And he puts it by Michael Dennis. So once again, that slippery pitch down there in the end of the Indians' end ended up in a mistake by the Indians. Dennis wasn't able to get his hand on it. The defense wasn't able to clear it. Cougars had a couple opportunities, and Kyle McCarthy made no mistake with a ball at the 6-yard line on his right foot. That's going in the back of the net most of the time.
So when I saw that loose ball and I saw it number 19, I said, this is over. It's going in. The kid knows how to finish.
19. Yeah.
And the assist?
5. Ryan Marks on the assist. He was the one who started that whole play by getting the shot on goal from about 10 yards out, and Dennis knocked it down. The defense wasn't able to clear, and after a couple other people swiped at it, McCarthy puts it behind Dennis for the 2-goal lead by the Cougars here with just over 24 minutes to play in the second half. So maybe a little backbreaker for the once again the Indians applying some decent pressure, and Cougars are the ones that are getting the opportunities. Here's another close play with Dennis, and Tatro goes flying over him. So Michael Dennis has had 3 close calls here in the second half, and
well, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, obviously, because they got the Spear kid, and we saw what he did against Beatontown in the final 20. But if the Cougars were to win this game, is the regional game here Tuesday at the George Brendler Field?
No, in Plattsburgh.
It's in Plattsburgh, okay.
Yep.
Regardless of who wins, the game is still going to be in Plattsburgh.
Okay.
Beekmantown was leading 3-1, and then
The Spear kid came out and scored 3 goals in the final 20.
Yep.
So I said, this game's far from over because you've got the Spear kid out there, and he's
Right.
proven against a quality team like Beekmantown, he can take matters in his own hands.
Peru needs a goal quick.
Yeah.
They really haven't,
Who's taking it?
but they haven't had a lot of good looks this second half.
The second half has been a whole different story than it has in the first half.
Chances like they did that first half.
Cougars have dominated the second
But
half.
here's Ian Spear taking the free kick. He's going to skip this one, and it's going to go wide of the net. So at some point, like you say, in their semifinal game, he took the team on his back and brought them from a 2-goal deficit to the victory in the last 20 minutes of the contest. So don't ever count this Peru Indian team out. They are they come to play
Like we
every.
mentioned earlier too, they played 3 games previous to this, and every one of them were 1-goal games, and two of them were in overtime. So
Yep. And here's a nice ball. It's sent to the back line, but Musso makes a nice play there. Here's Wiley. Wiley chips one into the center, and Tremblay's going to get whistled for the foul.
that's the second time he's
So-
somebody down pretty
So once again, the Indians with a set piece here. Jacob Dick is going to take this kick.
Two guys,
a
let's
real
go.
good spot for Peru.
Yep, this is a good opportunity for them. They had several of these early on in the first half, and got some decent grade A scoring opportunities off them. And so Dick is going to put this ball in play, sends it deep in the box, and very well called it. An excellent opportunity. I think it was Thu, I believe, that came up from his defensive spot and got a head on that. Either he or Plessis Belair got a good opportunity there. So Cougars, I don't think, want to be giving up too many of those, as the Indians have shown that they can capitalize on the opportunities that are given to them or the opportunities that they create. So Cougars need to do the same thing they've been doing all game, is keep their defense strong and keep the offensive pressure on to keep the Indians honest on the back line.
Peru's got to come out now. They got to start.
Well, you would think that they'd start bringing stuff up,
You look
but
back, they still have 4 defenders.
Coach Armstrong is still keeping his
Why are they
defenders
stopping
back.
why are they stopping at the? Just go. You're down 2. You got 20 minutes. Listen, man, you got to go.
I gotta
throttle.
believe it. At some point, he's going to start opening up and sending some of these people forward.
Wait too long, because this second half they really haven't had a lot of chances. It's the second half.
Only 2 shots this time.
Yeah.
4 shots on that, right? It's 8-6-3. It was 6-3.
So Rabideau gets the ball started. Spear goes up, gets it forward. This is Plessis Belair. Marks is marking him, but Plessis Belair still has it. He's going to take a shot. Dick has it go off the back of his foot. An opportunity there into the box, but Cougars not able to clear it. And
Cougar defense is doing a much better job this game, or this half. Much better job of keeping that ball out, keeping them away from the net.
here's Dick, and that's going to be a corner kick. So
Chance right here now.
the Indians with the opportunities here in the last couple of minutes since the Cougar goal, it's been all Indians. So Cougar defense needs to step up here and get this ball cleared out. See if they can't get the ball, at least take some pressure off. Rabideau comes out, punches this one wide. McCall sends it back.
Clear, come on, Rodney!
Here's Nixon. He tries to get one forward, but it's kept in play by Bedard. Goes out, and Cougars have a throw in. Right. Here's McCarthy with the ball down the left side. Sends it past through, and he gets whistled for the push. Spear puts it in the middle for Belair. Belair has marks on him, and the call is going to go against the Indians. Bedard will get this one going. Puts it right in the box. It's flicked off to Pupor on the right side, but Indians defend. Spear sends it forward. Bedard is there to turn it back around the other way. Lamica. And Bedard once again. Comes the ball for McCarthy on the right side.
What's impressive, Joe, if the Cougars should hang on to win this game, is to beat a team the caliber of Peru 4 times in one season. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
because Peru has a very good team.
They have an excellent team this year. Have pretty much breezed through the rest of their only losses all year have come to the Cougars,
Right.
at the hands of the Cougars. So that's got to tell you something. They were able to take care of the rest of Division One and some quality teams in Division One this year. And here's Dick, tries to head one past the defense. Hunter chips it over for Grimshaw. Wiley gets it off of his foot. Here's an opportunity.
Good ball.
Wiley on the right side. He's going to send it in the middle. Here's Spear. He's dangerous. Tries to get it by Gay. He's going to get a shot.
Oh, nice save.
Stopped by Tom Bedard. Josh Rabideau.
Oh, my.
Takes one behind him, gets his hand on it just enough to slow it down. Tom Bedard traps it
That was a great save.
about 2 yards off the end line and turns around and kicks it out of bounds. There's a great save by Josh Rabideau, a combination of Josh Rabideau and Tom Bedard, because I think otherwise, had Bedard not been there, Rabideau's touch probably would not have kept it from going over the goal line.
I
So
don't think the ball would have had a whole lot of choice but over that goal line.
yeah, so there was a Rabideau says, I got two friends at goalposts on either side and one other, my senior captain defender back here. So
That was great.
these guys are doing what they need to do to keep this game as at a 2-goal lead. And that's certainly the best opportunity. And here's Spear again. I don't think he's done entertaining this crowd.
That's got to be.
And that's going to be a whistle. So once again,
Stop it.
The Indians will have an opportunity on the direct kick. No, they're going to throw it in. So, it's going to be a throw in. So it was not a foul on the play. Ball comes into the corner of the box. Here's Tremblay with it. He's going to try to send one forward for McCarthy. McCarthy had Lamica to beat, and Lamica stepped in and made a nice play there. Lefebvre comes over and knocks it out of bounds, but Indians will throw in. McCarthy. Sends it forward, but it's booted back the other way by Nusel. And Rabideau comes out and scoops the ball up.
They're jawing at each other here.
Yeah, a little bit of jawing going on back in there.
Joey at the 15-minute mark.
We get 15 minutes to play here in the second half. Cougars with a 2-0 lead. It looked like on that last ball, it looked like that Coach Armstrong had moved a couple of his defensive players up, as there was Colin Lamica was the only defender back. So I believe he's beginning to open things up here a little bit, try to get some offensive pressure at the other end of the field. But Grimshaw puts the ball in play, skips past one defender. Here's McCarthy with it loose in the box. Lamica turns it around. Grimshaw has it go past him. Here's Plessis Belair, tries to send it forward, but it goes out of bounds. And the Cougars with the throw in. So the Cougars, as I mentioned earlier, that Coach Hawksby hadn't made any changes to his defense, but I see now that he's moved his center midfielder, McKenna Hunter, back into a more defensive posture. So
Big kid, good with the ball.
yeah,
He's got good skills.
got good foot skills,
He's
and
good in the air.
He's decent in the air. So it makes pretty good sense to pack it back there a little bit. You don't need any more goals at this point. Here's the one that's flicked back. McCarthy's going to take a shot at it. I'm going to say we don't need any, but that doesn't mean that Kyle McCarthy's not going to take his crack at it. So
Well, the shots on goal now are 6 versus with Northeastern and 9 with Peru. Peru had a little flurry just before this action here at Northeastern, the pressure they're putting on.
Sure.
Peru had a couple good chances.
Here's McCarthy and Tatro again, but Lamica steps in and takes care of that. Plessis Belair got a little bit of room. He's going to push one forward for Dick. There's an opportunity, and Rabideau comes out, makes a nice play there, and it's cleared out by Grimshaw. Rabideau's a little slow getting up, and the clock is stopped here as Rabideau has got a little bit of an injury going on, so the clock stops.
He's not very happy. Josh Rabbit or not.
Stop it! Relax! Stop it.
Yeah, you gotta stop the clock. They should have put 30.
I'm pretty sure that referee Labarge called for a clock stoppage, but
Rabbit is back up.
Stop it! You never said anything! You gotta stop it! There's no time going back on it.
The official should have stopped it. It
When the
wasn't.
whistle blows, shouldn't it be stopping?
I saw him. I saw him cross his hands to stop the clock. So
Yeah, he did. He crossed his arms, I think. They should tackle it.
He's going to go talk to the side judge here.
well, I think they usually look at their watch when they say that, but
So at least you should be able to get about 30 seconds put back on.
yeah. We're going to see what all shakes out here, but whatever happens, we're not going to make Dale Oxby too happy. I can tell you that right
Coach
now.
Oxby doesn't need to be catching any cards himself.
Right.
You know?
All right, we're back at it, folks, after that slight injury timeout. Josh Rabbit, who's back up on his feet and looking to carry on. The Indians will have a restart here from about 35 to 40 yards out,
This is a good spot.
and they've had plenty of these, so here's a ball that's going to be kicked over the end line, and it's going to end up being
A lot of chances left.
no.
They're gonna have to bring it all. Just start going. You're down 2 scores.
So the Cougars need to be in a position now where if they can withstand this, clear the ball out a couple times, get it over midfield, and
They might get a strike themselves.
yeah, sure, absolutely. I mean, again,
There's nobody back.
doesn't seem to be they've got 3 guys back now instead of 4, so it's not like he's pushing all the troops forward. But here's a mistake that's sent into the middle. Leslie Belair has it, but Trombley strips it from him, pushes it wide, and here's a ball that's going to be sent into the box. Dennis has it lined up, so he'll grab that one before anything bad happens. And smells like we got a little skunk action coming this
Just
way.
wondering that.
Pepe Le Pew's in
Little
the house.
Pepe Le Pew stuff. So, and Thu steps up and kicks this one forward. He's going to put one in the center, but too far for Spear. Bedard steps up and pushes the ball out of bounds. The Indians will have the throw in, and the rain is starting to fall here.
Somebody got upset.
Gay steps into that one and knocks it out of bounds. The Cougars trying to stay focused here on defense and make sure they keep their marks in front of them. Here's Trombley. He's going to try to push one past the defense, but Lefebvre is there to knock it out of bounds. And
Outplayed him last one. Well, the boys are 7-4. Mercy for the girls.
Grimshaw fires one into the area. This gets defended there, but Lefebvre comes away with it. There's a strike by Pupor, who just come off the bench from the top of the 18, but Dennis snares that one. Nice effort there by Dustin Pupor. Puts a pretty good charge into one from the top of the 18 just to keep Michael Dennis honest here. Cougars need to get that ball down the other end a couple times just to keep the pressure off of them here with just a little over 10 minutes to play here in the second half of this Section 7 Class B championship game.
Joe, did the Cougars
Here's
shut
Spear.
out at all this year?
They did not.
Okay.
I believe the first 2 games were 2-1 and
3-2 classic.
and then the 3-2 overtime win down in Peru. Here's Grimshot. I think the one of the games that was played up in Champlain, the Indians actually scored first and had them down by a goal.
No, this is exceptional.
Dick comes up from the behind, takes that ball away from Zach Gay, pushes it through to Spear. Bigor steps up, makes a nice play there. McCall sends it back into the center. Here's Plessis Belair, tries to set up Wiley, and it skips by him, and it goes over the end line.
I'd say there'd be about 2 or 3 of them.
And that's going to go over the end line for a goal kick for the Cougars. And Rabideau's not going to be in any real big rush to get this one going. What's that, Calvin?
9 minutes.
9 minutes to play. Grimshaw gets it up towards midfield. Plessis Belair sends it back. Bigor. Here's Plessis Belair again. In for Wiley. Wiley sets up Dick, but Grimshaw makes a nice play from his defensive posture. Here's a good play by Lefebvre. Lefebvre tries to keep it in, but it'll go out of bounds for a Cougar throw-in. And that's a nice throw. Tetro has an open opportunity here in the middle. Skips it past, and he and Dennis collide on that one. Another close play, and this time Michael Dennis is a little slow getting up. Again, that was a 50-50 ball, and Austin Tetro and Michael Dennis are both a little slow getting up. And we're going to call timeout here to give the keeper a little bit of chance to regain himself.
Both keepers taking the punishment tonight. It's the second time for Dennis, and Rabbit has been down.
Coach, you want me to take a picture now? No turns!
All right. Again, the Indians on the attack, but Tremblay cuts that off. Here's Lefebvre, turns around, sends it upfield. Wiley flicks it forward, and the Cougars do the best they can to keep it going, but it's going to be a Indian throw-in. Here's Dick. He's got some space, trying to push it to the right side from McCall. Skips past everybody, and Ryan Marks makes a nice play, but sends it into the center.
Clean up! Clean up! Clean up!
And Grimshaw and Nixon collide. And it's going to be a Cougar throw-in. We got 7 minutes to go. That ball is in the center, skips past Pupor. Lefebvre and Nixon, Lefebvre and Lefebvre collide. Here's Tremblay. He and Lefebvre go down. All right, Grimshaw with the throw in the box, flicked over to McCarthy. McCarthy's going to get a shot, but it gets knocked away by a Peru defender. And Plessis Belair tries to send it forward. Grimshaw has to go off the side of his foot. Pupor makes a nice play there, chips one forward for McCarthy. He's shielded off the ball by Thu. Nice defensive play there by William Thu. And Dennis punts the ball away. So now I hear the Armstrong coaching team over here for the Indians trying to tell his defensive players to start pushing up, which probably should have started happening a couple minutes ago. But here's Spear. Spear, once again, is a one-man wrecking crew. He's going to get a shot off that's going to go off the crossbar from a tough angle, and Ian Spear not really willing to give up just yet. I don't know. I've seen a lot of times where you put your defensive players up and you don't ever come away with anything to show for it. I think if I've got an opportunity or an offensive weapon like Jacob Dick and Ian Spear, I just let them do their thing and keep everything else at bay. Once again, Dick's going to left-foot it into the box, but Grimshaw is there. Here's a nice opportunity, but Bedard heads it away. And this one comes out and is sent back in, but defended there by Bedard. Here's Lefebvre in the middle. Bigor knocks that one away, and it goes over the end line.
Northeastern has to get it out of their end. They got to clear it and quick because it's getting slippery and nasty.
I think it's snowing. Does it look like it's snowing, Calvin, or is that?
It might be pretty close.
Is that just a misty snow?
Misty snow.
Misty snow.
Let me check the temperature for you boys. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Give us that temperature look there. What's the barometer setting?
Tell me the stat, guy.
Okay.
I got the super back over
Once again, the Indians with a.
It's 42 degrees, boys.
No, okay. All right. This one is bounced around, but
Northeastern's doing a good
Gay
job.
sends it back out.
They're bringing everybody up. Peru has been Northeastern's doing a really good job. Josh Robidoux hasn't had to make a great save.
Right?
You know,
he hasn't had to do. I mean, he did have that one save where
Bedard saved him.
well, Spear made that exceptional move, which no, he's bound to get one or two of those a game. I mean, he's going to get those shots. Here he is again,
Right there.
and Gay steps in front of that one and slows it down. So we're at 3 minutes and 20 seconds to play here in this championship game of the Section 7 Class B tournament. There's a nice ball that's sent in, but Rabideau lines that one up, and he will probably, no, maybe he won't take his time getting this one going, but sends one wide. He needed to probably dribble that one a couple more times. So
10 or 12 seconds off the clock.
sure.
That's nerves.
Yeah.
It's just nerves.
Here's the, once again, the Cougar defense trying to get something down on the ground. Spears got it. He kicks it back for Blesses Belair. Belair's open in the top. He's going to let one go. Bedard deflects that one out, and that's going to be a corner kick for the Indians here with just about 2.5 to go. So
There goes the fight.
the ball's pushed in, and it looks like they're going to get another opportunity. So the Coach Armstrong and his crew have pushed everybody up forward, and this ball is in the center. Rabideau's going to punch it. It's going to go long and over the end line, and it's going to be another corner kick. I think they're going to go to the other side, I would assume. So with the
He wasted some valuable time.
2 minutes to go here, Dick is going to take this kick from the other side of the field to see what they can get going. This one is a nice service. And Spear misses that one as well as Isaac Nixon on that back post, and
About 4 collisions.
yeah, this is going to run a lot of time off the clock getting this ball set and back in play as the Cougars are subbing, and the Indians are down to their last minute and 20 seconds of their season to see if they can't overcome a two-goal deficit here as the clock is winding down. That one might be coming up here. Nope, still in the field of play. Ryan McCall makes a nice play to keep that one. Here's Spear, and I think a hold. I think that was one of your standard wrestling moves right there, wasn't it? The suplex or?
Yeah. No doubt.
Anyway, it's going to skip all the way over the end line, and that's going to be a goal kick. That should just about do it as we're about 40 seconds from the final whistle here at the George Brendler Field in this Section 7 Class B championship game, with the Cougars look like they're in a pretty good position to come away with a 2-0 victory and move on to state play as Austin Tatro is going to chip one in from about 30 yards out as the clock winds down, and the youngster's going to get himself his second goal of the night by having everybody up, and Austin Tatro with shows some pretty good nerves for a sophomore to corral that ball and just chip that second goal of the night, and chip that ball over the head of everybody and into the empty net to. We'll see. We'll see in just a second. I don't know. I don't think he's going to get. I don't know he's going to give an assist on that, but we usually get the referees to come over and give us a shot at it. But
no teasing is left. No doubt.
There is.
The best team is.
So, and as the clock winds down, that will be the end of the season for the Peru Indians, who have put up a great effort tonight in this contest, but come up short on the short end of a 3-0 score, and the Cougars will come away with the championship in Section 7 Class B and move on to state playoffs. So we saw a very entertaining game here from the George Brendler Field this Friday evening, November 2nd, 2012. We thank you for watching this episode of Hometown Cable.
And we're going to watch the award presentation.
And we're going to stick around for the awards presentation. So we'll hand the microphone over to Calvin Castine. And do they do it on this side? Or
right in front of us here. Yeah, right here. There's Rob. He's Rob right there.
Well, why don't you take care of all that?
Okay. All right. We appreciate we'll have at least one more with Joe Southwick, because the Cougars are going to keep playing. And that'll probably be election day. I'm not sure if they're playing election day. Do you recall?
I don't know if I still have the email or not. I probably don't.
I've got it somewhere, so
okay. I'll look.
It's either election day or next week from tomorrow.
Handshake and all that. I'll look and see if I still have the information that was sent by Mr. McCall.
Okay, you got those mobile electronics. So he's right modern there. He works for PrimeLink. He works for PrimeLink, so he's right on top of stuff. He's even more high tech than Joey Tremblay.
Oh no. Let's not go that far.
I'll see you later. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Referees' jobs aren't done till the handshake is over. Yeah, we presented the plaque. Okay, sectional chairperson Rob McAuliffe is on the field to make the presentation to the Cougar captains. We see Tremblay out there. We see Bernard. We see McCarthy and Rabideau. So Section 7 Class B hardware goes to Northeastern Clinton in a hard-fought victory over Peru. Peru, unfortunately, is going to lose by 3-0, but it easily could have been 1 or 2-0. So that's the way it was on this All Souls Day, November 2nd, 2012. You're watching viewer-supported local television, Hometown Cable.